Think about the last time you bought something you didn't need or said something you immediately regretted. You felt like you were in control, right? But what if I told you that most of the time you're actually a passenger in your own head? What if your brain is designed to lie to you just to save energy? By the end of our conversation today, you're going to see through the glitches in your own thinking. You'll understand why you make bad bets, why you stay in toxic situations too long, and more importantly, how to actually take the wheel back. If you've ever felt like your emotions are driving the car while your logic is stuck in the back seat, you're about to find out why. To do this, we're leaning on the life work of Daniel Kahneman. He's a Nobel Prize winner who essentially founded the field of behavioral economics. His book, Thinking, Fast and Slow, isn't just a psychology text, it's a manual for the human operating system. It's the book that explains why smart people do very, very not smart things. Idea 1. The two characters in your head. Imagine there are two characters living in your brain. Let's call the first one the impulse. He's fast, emotional, and acts on instinct. He's the one who jumps when you hear a loud noise or decides if you like someone within 2 seconds of meeting them. Then there's the thinker. He's slow, logical, and very lazy. He only shows up when things get complicated, like solving a math problem or filing taxes. Kahneman calls these System 1 and System 2. Most of us like to believe we are the thinker, but the truth is the impulse is running the show 95% of the time. Think about driving a car on a road you know well. You aren't thinking, you're on autopilot. But if a heavy storm hits, suddenly the thinker has to wake up and take over. If you've ever felt exhausted after a day of making hard decisions, it's because you forced the thinker to work overtime. The secret to a better life isn't ignoring the impulse, it's learning when to wake up the thinker. Idea 2. The trap of what you see is all there is. We have this weird habit of building a complete story out of tiny fragments of information. Kahneman calls this what you see is all there is. If you meet a new colleague and they're grumpy on the first day, your brain immediately labels them as a jerk. You don't consider that they might have had a flat tire or a family emergency. Your brain prefers a simple, coherent story over a complex truth. If you've ever felt judged unfairly or realized you were totally wrong about someone, you felt this in action. We do this with our careers and our investments too. We look at a rising stock and assume it'll keep rising because we only see the green line, not the market shifts underneath. To fight this, try to pause and ask yourself one simple question. What information am I missing right now? It's a small habit that stops 1,000 bad decisions. Idea 3. Why we hate losing more than we love winning. Let's play a game. If I offered you a coin flip where you could win $1,000, but if you lose, you have to pay me $800, would you take it? Mathematically, it's a great bet, but most people say no. Why? Because the pain of losing $800 feels twice as intense as the joy of winning $1,000. This is loss aversion. It's why we stay in jobs we hate or relationships that are going nowhere. We're so afraid of wasting the time or money we've already put in, the sunk costs, that we refuse to move toward a better future. If you feel stuck, remember, your brain is biologically wired to overvalue what you might lose and undervalue what you could gain. Don't let your fear of a loss keep you from a win that could change your life. Idea 4. The illusion of ease. Have you noticed how much easier it is to believe a lie if it's written in a bold, pretty font or repeated over and over? This is cognitive ease. When something is easy to process, our brain assumes it's true. It's why catchy slogans work better than complex arguments. In your daily life, this is dangerous. If a task feels easy or a solution feels obvious, that's exactly when you should be most suspicious. When you're scrolling social media and see a get-rich-quick tip that sounds simple and makes sense, that's System 1 taking the bait because it's easy to digest. If you want to grow, you have to lean into the friction. If it feels a bit difficult and requires effort, you're finally actually thinking. Finally, let's talk about how you remember your life. Kahneman found that we don't remember experiences based on how long they lasted or the average of how they felt. We remember two things: the peak, the most intense moment, and the end. You could have a perfect 10-day vacation, but if you lose your passport on the very last day, you'll remember the whole trip as a disaster. This is the peak end rule. If you want to build better habits or have better relationships, focus on the finish. Ending a workout with a fun movement or ending a hard conversation with a moment of genuine connection changes the way your brain stores that memory. It's not about perfection, it's about how you land the plane. Our brains are incredible, but they are also lazy, impulsive, and prone to shortcuts. We mistake easy for true and fear of loss for wisdom. But now that you know about these two systems, the impulse and the thinker, you have a choice. Next time you're about to make a big decision, just pause. Ask yourself, is this me thinking, or is this just my brain taking a shortcut? I'm curious, which of these glitches do you see most in your own life? Is it the fear of losing out or that autopilot mode? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. And if you found this helpful, you might want to stick around. We're diving into more ways to master your mindset very soon. Until next time, slow down and think.